Is it possible that all this time the world has only seen Jungkook as the golden magne, while his true role in the new chapter of BTS's journey is far greater than anyone imagined, even to the point that one of the most influential business media outlets in the world has finally exposed it? When Forbes released its latest feature on the album ARIRANG, many assumed it was merely a routine report about the comeback of a global group that has dominated the charts for more than a decade. Yet what happened was the complete opposite. A detail that seemed simple at first turned into a spark for massive discussion among ARMY. Jungkook was set to play a key role in 4 songs. 4. Not 1. Not just vocal parts. 4 tracks with significant creative involvement. And the fandom was not entirely prepared for the implications. The album ARIRANG, scheduled for release on March 20, 2026, is not just an ordinary music project. It is described as the culmination of a 12-year journey since the group's debut in June 2013, a reflective phase born after the hiatus caused by the members' mandatory military service. The name ARIRANG itself carries deep cultural resonance, representing Korean roots as well as the collective emotion built over more than a decade. In the report, it was mentioned that RM was involved in nearly every song except the interlude, reinforcing his reputation as the backbone of lyrics and conceptual direction. Suga and J-Hope contributed to several tracks such as Body to Body, Merry-Go-Round, and Normal. Jimin participated in They Don't Know About Us and Into the Sun, while V contributed to 2.0 and Into the Sun. However, public attention was drawn to one name highlighted specifically, Jung Kook, who played a key role in 4 songs, including Hooligan. This is where the dynamic shifts. For years, Jung Kook has been widely known as the main vocalist with stable technique, a flexible vocal tone, and extraordinary stage presence. However, the public narrative has often positioned him more as a performer than a creative architect. The fact that he now holds a total of 26 song credits in the Korean Music Copyright Association (KOMCA) dramatically shifts that perception. That number is not merely administrative statistics. It is a symbol of transformation. When an idol who debuted as a teenager now holds dozens of songwriting credits, it signals a consistent and measurable process of artistic maturation. A viral post from the X account at Chkvero901 accelerated the wave of discussion. Thousands of likes and reposts reflected not only enthusiasm but also surprise. Many ARMY began asking, will ARIRANG mark the era in which Jungkook emerges not only as a voice, but as one of the drivers of the group's musical direction? This question is not an internal comparison, but rather a reflection on the evolution of roles within a group that has always emphasized collaboration. In this context, the spotlight from Forbes functions as external validation, a recognition from mainstream media that the creative dynamics behind the scenes are shifting. Interestingly, other reports also highlighted the growing maturity of the vocal line songwriting, including Jungkook, Jimin, and V. This signals an important shift in BTS's creative structure. If in the early era much of the writing burden rested on the rap line, now the vocal line is increasingly confident in expressing their personal perspectives. ARIRANG, with its 14 tracks from Swim as the lead single to Into the Sun, is framed as a collective emotional narrative. Yet within that collective narrative, individual contributions still carry significant weight. For the global music industry, this becomes an intriguing case study of how a K-pop idol evolves into a credible singer-songwriter. For fans, it is an emotional moment, witnessing the growth of someone they have supported since adolescence into a mature creator with formal recognition. And for Jungkook himself, this may represent a symbolic turning point, the phase in which the international public begins to see him not only as a golden face or voice, but as one of the architects behind the group's new identity. Does this mean Jungkook is taking over? Of course, it is not that simple. BTS was built from the beginning on a strong foundation of collaboration. However, the fact that he holds a key role in 4 songs on an album described as a historic post-hiatus milestone sends a message that is difficult to ignore. ARIRANG is not only about nostalgia or cultural roots, it is about redefinition. And within that redefinition, Jungkook's name is printed more boldly than ever before. As March 20, 2026 approaches, one thing becomes clear. Public curiosity is no longer solely about how the songs will sound, but about how this creative role distribution will shape the next chapter in BTS history. If Forbes has truly pulled back the curtain on Jungkook's real role, then perhaps we are witnessing the beginning of a new narrative, one in which the Golden Magne stands on equal footing as one of the primary creative forces, an army around the world prepared to understand another dimension of the artist they have known all along. If drawn even deeper, the spotlight on Jungkook is not merely about credit numbers or a list of tracks, but about the historical momentum surrounding it. ARIRANG does not arrive in ordinary times, but after a long period of silence caused by the members' mandatory military service. In the context of South Korea's entertainment industry, a hiatus like this often becomes a vulnerable turning point. Can a group maintain its relevance, or will it lose its momentum? It is precisely amid that uncertainty that the report from Forbes feels like a powerful signal that this resurgence has been designed with deliberate creative awareness. The 4 songs involving Jungkook, including Hooligan, are not merely symbolic contributions. In the music world, participation in the writing and production process means being involved in shaping sonic direction, emotional tone, and the message conveyed. That means when the public eventually hears the pounding beat, the choice of diction, or a particular melodic structure, there is a trace of Jungkook's thought embedded within it. This changes the way fans will listen to the album. They are no longer waiting only for his high notes or signature harmonies, but also trying to read his creative identity between layers of production. Furthermore, the achievement of 26 credits at the Korean Music Copyright Association (KOMCA) stands as a concrete indicator that his artistic journey is not a fleeting coincidence. Within the competitive K-pop landscape, not every idol can sustain consistency as a songwriter. The fact that Jungkook continues to expand his writing portfolio demonstrates dedication to an ongoing creative process. It also strengthens the narrative that the vocal line, including himself, is now increasingly active in shaping the group's musical foundation. On the other hand, BTS's internal dynamics still reflect balance. RM remains a central figure across nearly all tracks. Suga and J-Hope maintain their distinctive production touch, while Jimin and V broaden their lyrical participation. Yet it is precisely within this collaborative composition that Jungkook's role feels striking. He does not replace anyone, he expands the dimension. The question now lingering in the air is this: will ARIRANG be remembered as the era that redefined Jungkook's role? Or is this only the beginning of a phase in which he increasingly emerges as a creator equal to his reputation as a global performer? When the album is officially released on March 20, 2026, the answer may resonate clearly in every verse and note. But one thing is already certain: the spotlight that has emerged this time has shifted expectations. And in the entertainment world, shifting expectations often mark the beginning of an entirely new chapter. That shift in expectations has now transformed into both pressure and opportunity. When a name is highlighted by Forbes in the context of creative contribution, the global public no longer views that person merely as part of a group, but as an individual with distinct artistic weight. Jungkook stands precisely at that intersection. He remains an integral part of BTS, yet at the same time, the narrative surrounding him is beginning to stand on an increasingly solid foundation of its own. Interestingly, this momentum arrives as BTS enter a reflective phase in their 12-year career journey. ARIRANG is described as an album that encapsulates the emotions, experiences, and thoughts of the members over the past year. If that is the case, then Jungkook's involvement in 4 songs signals that his personal perspective holds significant space within that collective story. He is no longer merely an interpreter of emotions written by others, but a co-writer of those emotions himself.